Short, bald, and angry.
You sometimes find that your dreams get in the way of your dream. Get out of here! Dreams blocking dreams. Dreams preventing my dreams from dreaming. Get out of here, Baldy! He called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys.
I'm a shooter, goddammit.
Cross me again, I'll put a bullet through your head!
Not that kind of shooter. I'm a peace-loving shooter. A cameraman. I might appear to be short, bald, and angry on the outside, but I assure you I am tall, happy, and handsome on the inside. I am a walking contradiction. Let's get this thing started. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 11 of the Short, Bald, and Angry podcast. My name is Cinco, and our guest this week is Crimdella, aka Black Zeus with an X at the end. He's a rapper, songwriter, and like me, he's a short dude. But when he hops up on stage, you'd never know it. I've seen him get crowds jumping. And not just once, like many times. I don't just love this guy's music and performance, I love his attitude in general. He's kind of soft-spoken, he's super chill, he's thoughtful, and zen, which makes it all the more surprising when he gets up on stage, because he really does get super hype. And I'm not exaggerating when I say everyone ends up jumping. A party I've mentioned before on this podcast, and again on this very episode, he was performing at it, and it was one of the coolest parties I've ever been to. And literally, I thought the floor was going to cave in because everybody was jumping. And I met Crimdella through hanging out at Chris Carr's Brooklyn Wildlife events, as I meet most of the amazing people I know. And Krim is part of the core group of artists who play through Brooklyn Wildlife. He's often collaborated with Paco the G-Train Bandit and Red Diaz, and maybe someday I'll get all of them performing on the podcast together, because they're amazing solo, but when they get together, it's like when the Transformers combine into one bigger, more powerful machine. And he's been trying to get me to make him a music video for a while, but I haven't been able to, and not for lack of want, just circumstances or whatever. My life has been kind of hectic, but I've always wanted to make him a video, and it looks like that's finally going to happen for a song called Decepticons. I have no ideas for the video, and there's no shoot date yet, but you can hear him perform the song live at the end of this podcast. And he's also accompanied by Dirty Pipes, one of his collaborators and our mutual friend. Dirty Pipes will be coming on the podcast at a later point as well, when our schedules line up. And I knew Krim was into comics just from his status updates on Facebook, but I was surprised to learn that he actually wants to write his own comics. So that's dope. Maybe we'll collaborate someday, or at the very least I'll encourage him to do that. Because if you're following me on this podcast, you know how much I love comics now. This past weekend was Bushwick Open Studios, and I've been living in Bushwick for over 6 years now and have never participated in the Open Studios. I was originally planning to just sell my art in the streets, but thanks to my new friend, Mike Grossman, founder of Goofy Fruit Comic, I was invited into a show at 49 Wyckoff Avenue at the last minute, and I can't thank Mike enough. It was one of the dopest things I've ever been a part of. And thanks to Lizzie Brennan, a wide range of artists were given free reign to occupy the first floor of office space. And for 3 days straight, we all networked. I made all kinds of new artist friends, including several members of the Con Artist Art Collective. I sold 5, maybe more, copies of Erotica, a couple copies of Popova, the comic I just did the variant cover for, a bunch of stickers, and I even sold one of my original large works on paper for a couple months of rent, which could not have come at a better time. I was also given space to paint my first mural, which I am totally psyched about because it's hard to get mural work if you've never done them before. So, fingers crossed, I hope this leads to more mural work too. Gotta get that money. I have a lot of other exciting announcements to make, but I'll save them for next week as some of the details are still working themselves out. Please consider donating to my Patreon, because being an artist is incredibly difficult, and making this podcast is incredibly time-consuming. If you like what I do, or even if you don't like what I do, but you just love me, please consider donating. Every little bit helps. Jump in at the $1 level, which is very affordable, and receive one of my presidential twat stickers. That's still a limited time offer. I'm not going to be doing that forever. You can find my Patreon by going to www.patreon.com/ian.studiocinco. Links for that and all other things mentioned in the podcast are in the description of wherever you are getting this podcast. All right, that's enough babble for 1 week. Let's get to the meat of this episode. Remember, there's a live performance of Crimdella at the end of the episode. I captured a video of him as he performed live with Dirty Pipes. If you're a musician and want to come on the show, that is now a feature of this show. I will shoot you performing live if you come on my show. It's exciting stuff. The show is really starting to take shape. Crimdella did 2 songs accompanied by Dirty Pipes. The first song is Decepticons, which I will be making a music video for soon. And the second song is called Ka. And there's a link in the description to a music video for that, too. I'm lucky to know this guy and grateful to him for coming on my podcast. So now, without further ado, I bring you Crimdella, a.k.a. Black Zeus. Zeus! Let me hear you talk a little bit.
Yo, Crimdella, aka Black Zeus. What is that drawing back there? It looks fire, whatever that is.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind talking about this. This is a comic cover I just did.
Fire.
I did it for, Shadi and Tev by
Yeah.
They do Popova.
Yeah, Popova.
This
Yeah,
is
I know
issue
about
number
it.
2, man. Just came out today.
Wow, that's fire.
So
I gotta share
I was
that.
splitting it up to do the Instagram tile thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a wraparound cover right there.
Yeah, that's dope.
That
That's super fire.
this is a fucking exciting moment for me, man. Yo, man, thanks for coming over.
No problem.
We got Crimdella, also known as
AKA
Black Zeus.
Black God Pantheon.
And how do you say your regular name, man?
My normal name, my life name,
Yeah.
Mandella.
You have epic names. All your names are epic, man.
Yeah, Mandella, Crimdella, Black Zeus, all that. It all works.
So, you are a rapper,
Yes, I am. I'm a rapper,
songwriter.
songwriter,
What else do you-
extraordinaire.
What else do you call yourself?
Rapper, writer, songwriter, artiste,
Yeah, you're an artist.
visionary,
Yeah,
understander, spiritual being.
cool, man.
Yeah, spiritual being is a little corny. I gotta find a different way to say that, but
Yeah, I agree. As a rapper, you could probably that. When I say that, every time I hashtag that for years, and then I was like, I can't hashtag that
you
anymore.
can't do that.
But I like it though. That is what we are, and
Yeah.
everybody is that to some extent. But when you're an artist, you kind of have to embody it. I think.
Yeah, very much so. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Agreed, man.
You're also. I wrote down. I think you're you and your music. It's thoughtful and intelligent, but it's like super fun, and you definitely get hype. Like,
Yeah, most definitely.
That's like. Would you agree with that? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I try to do most,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, because I don't want anything to be like, you want to get a message across, but you don't want it to be boring and preachy. Like,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I didn't want anybody pointing their finger and telling me what I need to do. So
Right.
I always fucked with the teachers that were like more fun and they gave you the message, but they weren't like forcing it down your throat. So
Yeah, like the lecturers.
yeah, I hate lectures with a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a couple good lectures in my time, but yeah, they tend to be the assholes, really, right?
Yeah, no, they're the worst. I had one lecturer in college. He's a biology teacher, and he had a glass eye. And then we figured out that
You can
we
sit
could
on one
just
side.
cheat on on the exam by sitting on one side, because he would like just sit there and he couldn't see out the side.
That worked.
So everybody got there early and sat on the side he couldn't see out of. It's terrible.
Getting some weird sounds. I'm not sure if it's recording that or if it's just
Mhm.
the mic. So how long you been doing what you do? The
How
rap.
long have I been doing the rapidy
Yeah.
rap? I started writing when I was about 13 years old. Kept at it, just got better, and I really started taking it seriously, I guess, in the last 6 years. Just like doing more shows, writing songs,
Yeah.
just being more present, doing
Yeah.
what I need to do here.
And you live up in Harlem,
Yeah, I'm from Harlem, born and raised.
but you're always moving around the city, like
Yeah, I'm in
like-
Brooklyn a
like
lot.
a lot of the crew. Everybody's constantly like hustling every night doing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you do more than one thing every day? Like you're running around.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like, I just went on tour with my boy Paco the G Train Bandit, but in order to do it, like, I quit my job. So when I got back, like, I had money saved up, but I've also just been, like, doing little odd jobs and running around. So, like, and then trying to get into teaching artist work. So I've been, like, running around trying to do a bunch of that stuff. So it's like, I really been, like, ripping and running.
Yeah.
So, which is what I kind of want to do because I got to build up that hustle because that's what I need to
Yeah.
do what I want to do. So that's what it's been.
You have a healthy attitude about it.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
It could be worse, you know. At least I have a support system.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have that.
I take inspiration from all you guys running around like that because I am burnt out. I admit it fully.
Yeah.
Super burnt out, but it doesn't stop. You got to keep going. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Actually, let's put our phones in airplane mode. I think that's what's happening right now. I'm getting some. Is that all right?
No, that's fine for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting some feedback stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Airplane mode.
So, is there anything specific you want to like promote right now? Like new
Well,
stuff?
Coming soon.
Current stuff?
So I just dropped a single. It's called Ka. In July. It's available on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Tidal Music, all of that stuff. You can find Ka. KH stands for Kill All Humans, featuring Red Eyes, produced by Minecraft, who produced my whole upcoming album and my last album. The album is called Bury Me in Gold Volume 2, and it should be with us shortly. We're aiming for early November, late October.
Right.
So
I always forget that that's not out yet.
yeah, soon.
Because I've been hearing a lot of it,
You've
or
been
at least
hearing
the
them.
spaceship.
Yeah, I've been sharing some of the music early. I'm gonna share something new today.
Nice.
A piece of it, so that should be dope.
What? How many songs are on it? Do you know yet?
We still figuring it out. Right now, it looks like about 11,
Nice.
12 or 11, in between that number.
What's the name of the song? My spaceship has no brakes.
Ka, K-A-H.
That's Ka.
That's Ka. Yeah.
Okay.
Kill All Humans.
Yeah, I love that song, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Dope. I'm trying to, we're just pushing it. The video's out too. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just search Crimdella, Crimdella, and then put Ka, K-A-H, and it'll show up.
What's so where's your name come from? Even if it seems like it might be self-explanatory, maybe it's not. How did that come about?
My name is a mix of my old rap name and my real name. And then also, like, it's just a good play on, because my nickname has been Krim for forever.
So your nickname was Krim first.
Well, because it was Krim because I used to go by Crimson, so people would call me Krim.
I used to.
And then from Crimdella, Krim is like the obvious thing. But what it was is that my real name is Mandella.
Yeah.
So if you put Crimson and cut it in half, you put Della on it. It's like people call me Della, Crimdella.
Simple enough.
Yeah. So and
I
that's
thought
what
maybe there was a story, but
there's
like
a story behind the old name Crimson. It was one of my favorite comic books growing up. It was a comic, drawn and I believe written by Humberto Ramos. It was an image comic.
I know
It was
him.
called Crimson.
I gotta Crimson, man. I know I have copies of that at my parents' house probably.
Yeah, he was like Alex Elder was the main character. He was like a vampire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, and he draws big feet.
Yeah, he draws real big feet. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to get kicked by Humberto Ramos.
Yeah.
That might be a rhyme right there. Yeah, so. But yeah, so that's where that came from, and then I just put them together and we get Crimdella.
My dog is going nuts outside.
I could tell.
But I can't leave the thing in the bottom of the crate because she's puking right now. So
Yeah.
I woke up to puke in my bed this morning.
She's not feeling good?
No,
Oh.
it's bad. It's ugly. I might have to take her to the vet.
Oh, wow.
God, she's just part of the podcast. That's like a thing. I'll just let you know that right now. Sorry if it seems disrespectful that I got
No,
noise
it's
going
fine.
on in the apartment, but yeah, she's usually barking in the background too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. So you're into comic books, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still read anything?
Here and there.
Yeah.
Like I usually read stuff that I borrow from my friend Paco because
Yeah.
I can't really afford to be buying comics. Comics are expensive.
Yeah, me neither, man. They take
but
up room
unless
and
you-
they're expensive.
Yeah, unless you get like the paperback, the hardcovers or whatever. And even those can be expensive. But
Yeah.
right now
That's the only one I can't buy individual comics anymore.
Yeah. Right now, I'm reading a book called Deadly Class. I've been reading those, and that's really dope.
I love it, man.
Deadly Class is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for they're doing a show.
Yeah. It's coming out like this week or very soon.
Yeah, by the Russo brothers, though.
Yeah.
I think it's 2019. Though.
They produced it.
Yeah, they produced
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah. If they do it right, it's got to be real gritty and.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nasty.
Television it's iffy,
It's gonna be
The
in the
verdict's out
Sci-Fi
on that.
Network. They can find a way to do it.
Hopefully.
I don't know if you ever watched The Magicians. The Magicians is kind of like that. Like they do.
They
Crazy
take it
stuff
to the
all
R
time.
level.
Not necessarily super duper R, but they go violent enough. You don't necessarily have to show everything, but you can get the feel of what's happening.
Yeah.
People rely too much on gore, I feel like.
Yes and no. I feel like sometimes you got to show the gore.
Sometimes, but it got to be a point to it. Sometimes it's just there just to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be careful because I'm the kind of person who wants to literally show everything. I don't like when I hate the old school way of showing or not showing a sex scene, cut or pan away.
Me too. Just show it.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And violence. I feel like I'm all about showing violence. Again, the reason should be to show how bad it is, and then show the repercussions and the consequences and everything. Yeah. But yeah, man. Do you feel like your music addresses violence in any way or?
Yeah, I think there's subtle ways. Like if you listen to Extra, I'm talking about. We still getting shot by niggas in blue hats, still getting shot by niggas that move crack. That's like just a statement about the black and brown communities, how we get it from both sides.
Yeah.
So that addresses violence. Like I address violence when it's needed, if it makes sense to what I'm writing about, so I don't jump over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm in my freestyle bar mode, I might say something violent, but it's all lyrical. Like I'm not really gonna do anything then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna baseball bat you up.
Do you battle? Is that what you're referring to?
I used to when
I
I was younger. I'm talking about like if I'm just writing a rhyme just for like a freestyle. Sometimes, a lot of times, it'll be like just bars in there, just hardcore bars, just because I grew up on that. But I used to battle when I was younger, but not really crazy, but like here and there I would battle.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm really more about songs because I don't know. That's I don't want to offend any battle rappers, but I just think through songs and stuff like that for me is more connective to like people and their lives and shit like that. So I want to make stuff that's gonna change people's lives, and I think through that I can do more work with songs, and then understanding that it's not about just always trying to rapidly rap, but just making sure the song, like whatever I'm putting on that song makes sense. Even if it's a really dope rap, it has to make sense on the song.
Right.
So
yeah, like one line it should get cut if it doesn't.
If it
help
doesn't
the
fit,
song,
even
right?
if it's a dope line, it's like this. I've written rhymes that have been like
You've had to throw
crazy
some
dope,
away.
and I had to throw half of it away because I'm like, when I use it for this, I'm like, this. It doesn't need to be this long.
Here's a silly question: what do you do when you throw them away? Do you keep them in
No,
like a
I
box
keep
like
'em.
this?
No,
It's like
I don't write them down.
They're there.
They're on my phone. So what I do
They're
is
there.
they're there. Maybe I'll cut it and put it to something else.
You write predominantly your lyrics on your phone?
Yeah.
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 You record with your phone too?
When I'm in the studio, I have my phone there. Sometimes I memorize it, and sometimes I read it off my phone.
But I mean, like, do you like record like the actual like the melody or whatever it is? Do you use your phone to get the melodies down, demo and stuff?
Sometimes
Yeah.
like if I have an idea and I'm at a place, I would literally stop or walk over to the corner and say the idea into my phone, to my voice notes, just so I can have it in case. And it might not be good, but just in case in the future, I'm like, oh, this was actually kind of dope. So sometimes I go back and find stuff. I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah. So
What's your overall process like? Like, how do you go about making songs and everything from like top to bottom?
It depends. I usually start with the beat. Sometimes like I might write something, have an idea, and don't have a beat, and then somebody might play a beat, and I'm like, oh, I could do this on this, and I'll do it, and then I'll finish the song. I usually don't finish songs without beats.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I just let the beat tell me what I'm supposed to do. Then I write the song, make sure it works, at least in my head, and then I'll record it, and usually I send it to my producer. Then we'll meet, and then we start like arranging the song.
Yeah.
once we figure out what we want. Or he might be like, you got to go back and record those verses because they're not, you could put more umph in them. Or you should stop here, maybe stuff like that. And then we'll just arrange them together and keep working at that until we think they're ready.
You use GarageBand to demo?
I used to do that a lot actually, but sometimes I do. I have like freestyles on my phone and on my iTunes now of me just writing they're usually freestyles of me just writing something and wanting to demo it, so I just demo it just so I have it. But now I feel like my ears become so refined that it's hard for me to like really take in those demos, like, cause I need it to sound a certain way. So it's like now I'm just like, let's just go record it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're just hopping straight to the studio quicker than some would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Get it out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you're telling tell me if I'm wrong. You're telling me you make a beat. You make essentially like the song and the beat and the melody before you write.
Well,
the lyrics.
no. What happens is usually what it is, I might just have ideas that I write and I put down. If I hear a beat that it fits, it might bring that idea back out.
Gotcha.
And then I add what I have to it, and then maybe I have a verse already that works, and then I'll finish the song. I add another verse, or I'll figure out what else I want to add to it. And then sometimes I just hear the beat and the whole whole idea comes in my head and it just flows out.
Yeah.
So, it depends.
Sometimes it just drops down out of heaven.
Sometimes it just comes out of nowhere, and sometimes it takes time. Sometimes I might be sitting with a beat for like a year.
Yeah.
I remember there's a song on Bury Me and Go Volume 2 called Pearl, which I love, featuring Miss Olithia. Hey, Olithia. She's dope. I had that beat, the earlier version of that beat, for mad long. I even freestyled on it before. And then I was finishing this album and I listened to that beat again. I'm like, I think I got a song for this. Then I wrote the song and then I sent it to Ivan Minecraft. He was like, oh yeah, this is tight. I had her come sing it too. And he was like, I like this. And then he rearranged, he changed the whole beat. It became something different. Now it's like crazy.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a really good way. It's a beautiful song, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Things can be pushed. You can always push a little further, right? Like,
yeah.
They say songs are never done. But how many producers do you work with and musicians and everything?
So, there's Dirty Pipes.
Yeah.
We usually perform acoustic together.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll like back me up when I'm performing tracks. There's Minecraft, who is my main producer, who produces all my stuff. And that's really basically it. I have other producers who I've worked with in the past who might send me stuff here and there, but those are mostly the core. There's also have a friend, a guy in Philly called Eric Boss. Sometimes I work with him. It's been a while, but I owe him some stuff. I got some stuff he don't even know. I done wrote some stuff that I think he would like.
You think he'll hear this podcast and call you up and be like,
he will, yeah.
The fuck, man,
Maybe
send it
he will
over
with
already.
his stuff, yeah. But it's mainly really just Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of musicians. I can't even say them all off the top of my head. So, yeah.
Do you have anything like a philosophy when it comes to your art and your music and your approach and all that? Like an art philosophy?
Song is paramount.
Yeah.
That's basically it. The song is paramount. If it doesn't move the song forward, then it's not. What's it there for?
Yeah.
That's my main thing, because I think the people I look up to, legendary acts, like I love them for their songs, not just because they were good rappers. Being a great rapper does help.
Yeah.
And my top 5 is full of amazing rappers.
Yeah.
But song is paramount, And
yeah.
So that's my thing.
I think those are wise words, man. That's it. Like when it comes down to it, the people you love them because they had a bunch of shit they made and they're good songwriters. And I always respect songwriters too, like people who write it themselves and do it themselves, you know, or have a small crew.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely in an age where like there's so many pop stars who like probably they don't do anything, you know, as we know. Does that shit bother you, or do you not really care?
What, pop stars?
Yeah, pop stars like with their ghostwriters and like teams of 48 people and they just come in and perform.
I don't know, because I don't really believe that some of those guys maybe aren't writing everything, but I don't believe that they don't write anything. I think that's like
You think they are right?
I think they do write a lot. I do think that they're in a label machine, and they have some people have high demand,
Mm-hmm.
and so maybe they can't meet the demand, so they might get help. That doesn't excuse it or mean that I'm gonna put them in my top 5, obviously, but you know, I try not to get upset with that. When I was younger, I would get bitter about other people, and then I realized like this shit does not serve me.
Yeah.
Like, what does it do? Why am I worried about other people? And that's like kind of the philosophy I've taken on. Like, I can't really worry. I gotta stop worrying about other people, what people think about me or whatever like that. It's like, you don't like me, cool. Just leave me alone. Simple as that. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna do what you're gonna do. So I treat everybody else like that as well. If I don't like an artist and they're not for me, I just don't listen to them, and that's it.
Who doesn't like you though, man? You seem like the coolest, nicest dude.
Hey man, there's somebody that don't
Everybody
like
has enemies?
everybody. Yeah, everybody has enemies, you know.
Shit, man.
So I don't know. And that's also a hypothetical, you know.
What? Which one?
Like,
Which
just
question?
in case, you know,
Like-
people. If you don't like me, then you just
Yeah.
don't like me. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
What, I'm supposed to stop being me? Like, you know,
Yeah. No.
I can't
never.
really do anything about that. So
Yeah.
I think all I can really do is as a person be self-reflective and keep moving forward. So that's
Yeah.
that's how I try to live my life.
You are a reflective dude, man.
Thank you.
How many do you have like proper albums out? How many albums or EPs
Well,
or whatever do you have?
You know, I'm only gonna count from. I'm not gonna count all of the.
You're
shit
ignoring old
all
stuff?
the shit. Fuck all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start from. I have a mixtape called God King, which I did a series called the Zeus Styles, and I would drop like a freestyle, not a freestyle, but a song every month.
What did you say? Zeus Styles?
Zeus Styles. You can still find it online. It's called
You
Zeus
can hashtag it?
Hashtag Zeus Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's online, and I took all of those joints that I did and I turned them into like a short mixtape. So there's that. After that, I put out a record called Bury Me in Gold,
Yeah.
Volume 1, and then Volume 2 is on its way.
We got
If
2
I ever
coming.
had to go back to one of my old projects that I really loved, I would say there was a album I did called Hurricane Binge that was kind of dope.
What's it called? Hurricane Binge?
The Hurricane Binge. You can't really find it like that. You got to go on like thatpiff.com to find that.
So
that
it's
shit is
still out-
mad
It's
old.
still out there, but you're not. You're
I'm
not
hiding
making
it, yeah. Not really hiding it. Somebody will find it. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
when I blow up. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know this Crim, no. But yeah.
What's your family think of what you're doing? Are they all supportive and shit, and they into it?
I think family definitely would probably rather me be a
Get a
little bit
job.
further along in the career.
Yeah.
But they do support me, and they do realize that I do have the talent and drive to do it. I
Yeah,
believe.
man.
Like, the more I've done it, the more support I've gotten. So I think they do support me, but at the same time, it's like I still gotta, you know, my thing is to produce,
Mhm.
you know, some type of capital still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they definitely, you know, believe in what I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I met your brother the other night, right? He's a comedian.
Oh yeah. Pumpkin Escobar, that's my brother. He's a
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So he's into that. Then I'm sure he's.
Oh yeah,
supporting
he's
you.
all about it.
Yeah.
He's all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about it.
How many do you have other brothers and sisters too?
Shoot, I got a lot. It's 7 of us. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister.
5 brothers, 1 sister.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a lot.
yeah, it's a big fam.
Is the sister sandwiched in the middle, or what is she?
No, she's the oldest.
She's the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's raising a bunch of young punks, huh?
No, well, we
Or
grew up. So she grew up. She lived in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and we were in Harlem. But I've known her my whole life. So, but yeah, no, she's the oldest.
Are you all pretty close together?
In age?
And in
Not in age. Hell no.
ages are all over the place.
My oldest brother is 20 years older than me, so he is 53.
Wow. Yeah.
And then the oldest 4 are like kind of close in age, so it's him. Then it's like he's a year apart with my other brother, and then I think it's 2-year difference, and then another 2-year difference, and then the 7 years my brother Sekou, and then there's 7 years between my brother Sekou and me.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't. None of them are like close in age to me.
But do you all hang out and see each other and stuff?
Yeah. I see them. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, my sister's up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
We
No,
go
my
like
brother's in-
months at a time without seeing each other.
Yeah, that's gotta be not fun.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe like jobs or some circumstantial shift, and we'll hang out more in the future. We're hoping. But yeah, it's difficult, man. So what was your upbringing like, man? Like, so you grew up in Harlem. You've been there since like day
Born and
one.
raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up before even like school? Do you have any memories from that?
Before school?
Yeah. Because I have a few, but it's pretty foggy, right? Like that shit
My
fades.
first memory is my mother juicing watermelons in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she gave me some watermelon juice.
And you remember that?
I remember that.
It's an
vividly.
impressionable thing. Do
Yes,
you remember the smell too and everything?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember especially because I can't have watermelons now.
Why?
I have like a stomach allergy to them. I don't
Shit.
know why. It sucks. I
That
can't
does
eat
suck.
watermelon. I throw it right up.
Not even drinking it?
I can't even drink it.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so because of that, I can't have watermelon. I mean, not because of that. I remember it.
What do you think of Chris Carr's chicken and fried chicken watermelon parties,
I was not
man?
with it. He knows that. I was not with it.
You were like opposed to the whole concept
I was
of
opposed to
calling it that and inviting people and everything?
Yeah, I was opposed to it.
Why?
Just uncomfortable to me. To
Yeah.
be honest, like that's the easiest way to say it. It was like something that it's just not something I would do.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that. But I love and respect Chris. Chris is a dope dude and dope artist.
Yeah, I mean, he's respectful in every other way,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if he's going to push that button, it's less harmful, hopefully, than other buttons.
Yeah. So.
But damn, man, are you allergic to other fruits and vegetables, too?
Avocados.
Oh, damn.
Almonds, raw almonds, I can't eat.
Oh, that's hard.
A bunch of other stuff I don't know. Like I don't want to even test it out. Like I don't even think I can eat peaches like that no more. And I love peaches.
That's rough, man.
It sucks.
Yeah, I have a pretty good friend who or like best friend who can't eat fruits and vegetables.
That sucks.
I can't imagine, man.
Well, I can eat fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I just can't eat certain ones. Vegetables, I don't really have any allergies to that I can think of. I don't think so. But fruits, yeah.
Yeah,
be
that's
careful with fruits and certain raw nuts.
damn, man.
Yeah, it's whack. But to answer your question, like my upbringing was very interesting because I come from a Pan-African family, and my father was very much involved in the December 12th movement and a lot of Black Power related things, and he would travel to Africa and do a lot of work there and bridging the gap and making sure that they had resources. So he was like a fearless man because he was traveling to countries that people ain't want to go to, like third, you know what I'm saying, like where it's dangerous out there.
Yeah.
And of course he was, he was like, protected, but he was doing a lot of work in those places, and so. I was always raised with a strong sense of awareness as a black man, whereas everybody doesn't necessarily get that. So I was aware of a lot of things that a lot of people weren't growing up.
Yeah, that's. I mean, maybe it's not the only reason why, but that's you're like a very thoughtful dude, man. Your raps aren't shallow.
Thank you.
Even though you definitely have some fun songs that are just more playful and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
you think that stems
I think
first
that-
from your dad, maybe?
I think that stems from my mother and my father.
Both.
Because my mother was no joke neither. Like, she didn't necessarily go overseas and do that type of stuff, but she worked a lot in the school system, and she just was very much, I don't know if you ever heard of Central Park 5, but my mother and my father were involved in that. Like, they
Like
definitely
sticking
did a
up
lot
for
of
him?
work. Yeah, they would go to the court cases and all that. I remember them.
That was
my
Trump,
mother-
right? Trump was fucking around with that shit.
Well, Trump had didn't really have shit to do with it, but
He
he
put
put that ad out in a newspaper.
Right,
It was like a full page, and it was like basically asking for the death penalty for them.
Yeah.
So
What a fucking asshole.
asshole he never apologized to, not that I know of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that when it happened. Like I vividly remember. I remember my mother watching it on television, watching news, being upset, and then going out to go meet with like some of the parents, and so
Wow, man.
yeah. So I come from that type of family, but I think also with that, it's like I come from a strong family, strong background, but we also do a lot of help for people. And I think sometimes with me, it's like recognizing because sometimes you do things for people and they don't reciprocate. So sometimes people are toxic. So sometimes it's dealing with that, like knowing that you've done what you can for somebody and then they'll just spit in your face. So
Yeah.
that's a dilemma for me. It's something for me to deal with because I don't want to become an asshole, but it kind of makes me like very wary of who I'm around, how they talk, what they say.
Because of things you've
that,
seen.
because of what I've
Or
seen, what I've been
experienced.
through. You know what I'm saying? What I've seen, like people are weird. In
Are you
many
saying
ways.
that because it also happened to your parents too?
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying just from watching, being in my family and watching us have to interact with people, and sometimes when you give to people, they're not always.
Gotcha. Yeah, because your
Grateful.
parents were helping the community.
Yeah.
And the community doesn't necessarily turn around and help. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been involved in some community
Mhm.
work, some social justice stuff, and yeah, it's apparent.
Mhm.
It's like people, a lot of people just take and
Yeah.
not give back. It's
It's
super
very
true.
true.
Unfortunately.
Well, like even like another way, like I would say, my upbringing has shaped me is like I got the opportunity, and anybody who's Cuban that listens to this is probably not gonna be
Cuban?
not like this. Yeah, but I've got that. I met Castro twice.
You met
When he
Castro?
yeah, when he came to America both times. We was in New York both times, and I met Nelson Mandela when he came here.
Wow, man.
So I was able to.
What were the circumstances like?
I think with what with Castro or Nelson Mandela.
Both. Like how'd you meet him?
My father organized helped organize all of the events that they came to. So when Nelson Mandela came to Harlem, my father was one of the people behind that, and he was there. Like there's a picture of him standing and Nelson Mandela sitting down and all of that. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
Can I get a copy of that, or like a
It's
digital
online.
copy? Yeah,
It's online.
and I
I
can
can find
throw
it
it
for
on
you.
the podcast.
Yeah, I can find it for you. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So he
And Mandela too, same thing.
Yeah. So I mean that was dope. And then even with Castro, I know he's a very panned figure. Some people love him, some people hate him.
Mandela's obviously easy to love, but
Easy
yeah,
to love.
Castro's
not
pretty
as easy.
complicated.
He's a complicated dude.
Yeah,
But
I'm
just
I'm
being
fascinated
able
by
to
that
see
revolution.
somebody, you know what I'm saying, in person, because you've only been given stories.
Yeah.
But I've actually been around his aura, so it's a little weird.
What was it like? He's
It was
huge,
powerful.
right?
It was very powerful.
a
He
ginormous human being.
bear hugged me.
Yeah.
Both times. Yes.
He's super charismatic. That's one of the reasons why he rose to power, because he was just like, he just like charges in and takes everything over essentially.
Yeah, very much so. So that was that. But that has something that shapes me in a way because I've been able to see things or be around things that everybody's not been able to be around.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you feel about the person or whatever like that, just being able to be in, to see certain things and to be able to say, well, they're both gone. Well, at least I met both of them, especially Nelson Mandela. So,
yeah,
and who I'm named after. So.
Superhero.
Yeah.
They named you after him.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, there's that.
Yeah, with all the superhero movies out, there's not many actual superheroes in the world.
Yeah, I know, right? We need more.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
What do you remember specifically? What the events were that your parents organized that they came to, or is it just kind of like
speaking engagements?
They're speaking engagements.
Yeah. I know. With Nelson Mandela, I'm not exactly sure what it was. I know he spoke, but it was like right there on 125th Street.
Yeah.
Like right, literally, it was like flooded with people.
Yeah.
But I remember that. Really
like the whole street up and down.
Everything.
Yeah, that's the way he travels around, like a messiah, man.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean that probably adds some. That's why you have the weight you have when you perform, is you probably bring that with you. You've seen that.
Yeah.
And you've probably just internalized it and made it part of who you are.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that? You probably are, right?
Yeah.
You feel like that about it?
It feels regular to me, but also I realize when I say it to certain people, they're like, but I was like, it's just part of something that happened to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was when you were a kid.
I was little.
Right?
Well,
like before school started, like.
Yeah.
So what was your schooling like, man?
I was homeschooled until I was about 14 years old.
Cool.
And then I went to school, and it was a bad experience.
Like a rough transition, you mean? Or
yeah, because I wasn't really around like Not only was I homeschooled, I was also like wasn't outside like that. I wasn't allowed to just go places. I had to wait for my brother to take me. He would never take me places. So because of that, I didn't really get to interact as much, except for like with kids who were like close to my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when I got to school, I didn't realize how mean kids were.
Yeah.
And so it was a rough
Especially when you're
first
coming
year.
in out of the
Yeah,
outside. Yeah.
it was a rough first year. Then my mother took me out to school because she was paying for it, and she was like, "There's no way I'm paying for this bullshit." And they would charge me for lunch after she was paying tuition. So she took me out of that school. She put me in a new school, and that was where the change really happened. I think like I got more interested in learning because it's a way better school. Like I had more interested in learning. Have more fun. I did kind of turn a little bit like the kids that used to mess with me because I had to protect myself, unless I felt like I had to.
You adopted like a bully
Not
attitude to
necessarily a
protect
bully,
yourself.
but I was like very quick to snap at people just with my words.
Yeah.
And if I didn't know you like that, I just didn't trust you. So it was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, but then I think once I got to school quickly, surely but surely, like some of my friends from high school, I still talk to like. Literally, like we're still friends. So
Yeah.
that was like a powerful moment. And then from there it was college and things of that nature. But yeah,
Well, how was college, man?
college was an experience.
Where'd
It
you
was
go?
cool. I went to SUNY New Paltz, upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it was it was fun.
Were you doing shows
I
and
never really wanted to
performing?
go.
You didn't want to go.
I did shows here and there. Like I might do something on campus. I might freestyle with my friends in the room or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, to be honest with you, part of my story, and I recognize this, is that I was always told, growing up, that you had to do this and you had to do this. And so I went to school really to please my parents. I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to pursue music. So I went to school for them. And
You weren't doing music in college?
I was, but like I used to work with this producer in college. He's part of a collective called Trilogy, and they produce now for like 50 Cent and Troy Ave and some of those guys. But I used to record with him. Like I would do stuff with him here and there, but nothing really got out there like that. We didn't really officially make a mixtape or officially make anything. We were just recording. And that's when I first started recording music.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really it. I would record freestyles here and there, and then I would record with my friends sometimes back home. But I think what it was is that I went for them, and then I realized, like, after I finished, I'm like, I wouldn't throw away this experience for anybody because at least I had the experience. But, I didn't really need to do this. Like, I could have just, if I would have just jumped in the music.
Streamlined right to where you're at right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I won't take it back because I learned a lot from college, and maybe I wouldn't be the man I am today.
We can never take anything back.
Yeah, so I went to college, to please them, got out, worked, and did a bunch of different jobs. And every time I did a job, I'm like, I just want to do music. I just want to do, like, it was always, it wouldn't leave. It's like a bug I can't get rid of. Like, I always want to do music, so.
All day, every day.
All day, every day.
I think that's what, like, true creative people all have in common. It's like we're just, like, dying to get to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's an obstacle.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Puppy. I've been harping on my puppy for too long. My puppy jokes are getting old. But what were some of the jobs you had to do, man? That you did?
Sorry about that. What were some of the jobs I did? I did all youth work. So when I came out, I didn't have anything for a while, and then no, actually it wasn't that long. Maybe a month or two. I was out of work, and then I started working at the Harlem Children's Zone, and I was like youth advocate or whatever they call youth. I forget what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Something advocate, and then I did that for a little while. Got into some trouble with some friends. Not real
trouble that you don't want to talk about.
It was some bullshit that happened, but anyway, whatever. So I ended up having to leave that job. And then once I left that job, I think I worked in a restaurant for a little while that I hated, and then
Doing what?
I was a waiter. It was a waiter. It was right around the corner from me too. So I did that for a little while, and then after that, I was working with foster kids in Queens. Queens and Brooklyn. I would travel out and do work with them, and then I'm probably missing a job. No, then I was working with young adults in the Bronx for a while, for about 4 years. I loved that job. That job was great. I actually just one of my old coworkers just messaged me and was like, "Hey, one of your old students asked me to pass this along to you. He finally got his high school diploma."
Nice, man.
So yeah, that was great to see.
Yo,
He asked her to tell me.
helping kids, man.
Yeah, I mean the dudes I was working with, they're not really kids. They're like 18 up. You know what I mean? Maybe 17 and a half.
Street smart 18 up kids.
Yeah, some of them were like, I'd had kids that was in they're supposed to been out. They was like 22
Right.
sometimes, but you know what I mean? I built relationships with them because they knew I really cared about them, and I would fight through all of their bullshit to get to them. So
They need it, man.
yeah. So that was great work, and then left that for a little bit. Started really bubbling with my music. Then I ended up having to go back and work in a shelter, doing recreation, and that was the last job I had until I ended up being like, fuck that.
The West Coast tour.
Yeah, West Coast tour now. I'm looking into teaching artist work, and then doing other things as long as.
I think everybody needs somebody to make them feel special or like encourage them, and like I've been blessed to have like a lot of people along the way. Do you feel like there's been any one person who like really sparked something in you, who like really made you become what you are? Besides parents,
Shoot.
you could always say parents, but
like somebody that I just met along the way that sparked.
anybody, mentor, even a friend who just like encouraged you hardcore or something.
I mean, I have to think about it. I think, to be honest, like, I have a lot of people who have actually really, really encouraged me and really, really pushed me. It's hard to even pinpoint one person, but I would say, like, my brother Pumpkin Escobar and my brother Ramses, they've always, like, ever since they realized that I did music, Pumpkin always knew since I was younger. My brother Ramses didn't realize that I was a rapper until I was, like, 18. And ever since he heard me rap, he heard my music, he always believed in me.
Nice.
They both always believed in me. They're like, you got it. They always never let me, like, feel like I couldn't do it. Never. Not at one moment. My cousin Branson as well would, like, sit me down and have stern talkings to me. He's a great artist. He would have stern talkings to me about me not doing enough. Because when I was first coming up, I wasn't really doing as much as I needed to. Like, I'd do something and then stop for a little bit. Then I'd do something, then stop. And then he would always have these conversations with me. And then I just, like, took off and I just didn't. I didn't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, when we're young, it's like we don't even. It's that's the easiest time to do a lot.
Yeah.
It just gets harder as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's great, man. That's perfect. We need those people in our lives, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely.
If you can be that person to someone else, it's valuable.
Yeah. And then, I've had other people, but them especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that West Coast tour, man? I know you guys got ripped off. You got car broken into, you lost all your hard drives, computers, and shit.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, and I think for both of us, it was still like a pretty great tour.
Yeah.
Met new people, you know what I'm saying? We have new connects. I got new fans. I'm sure he's got new fans. We both got new fans.
Yeah.
So it was pretty dope. And now we have people in other areas, and if we want to roll out, we got people.
Yeah.
And yeah, ultimately, man, it was a great thing. And I had a realization on tour. I think I had like a really thoughtful breakthrough, and I understood how I needed to interact with people and what I need to do moving forward. It's still not easy.
What is
but
that?
I know I just have to be more assertive with things. I got to get things done, and I have to, like, really move like I know who I am.
Yeah.
Which I do.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
But just more. More. And being very aware of whatever energy I have around me.
Yeah.
Certain energy is not necessarily good for you. You got to be able to pinpoint it and know when to move away from it. And that's just what I realized, And I saw that on tour, and I came back and then started just moving.
I'm sure that you're talking about multiple kinds of energies, but you're talking about like people who are just not feeling you at a show, or are you talking
No, just
about
negative. There's anything negative, Some people harp on that. They hark on that, and for me, it's like I realize I can't be around that. It's just not who I am. You
want
know?
to be around positive shit.
I got to be around positive energy. Yeah. I can deal with negative energy if I got to, but I can't just be around it. And so I think what I started to realize, and sometimes it's not, somebody can not really necessarily be negative. They could just not be for you.
Yeah.
And what I would do in other times is I would try and, like, I was so nice, I would try and, like, continue these relationships even if I wasn't really into somebody. Or I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be, okay, I'll be nice, but I don't need to be around you.
Yeah.
If you don't add anything to me, then why, you know?
Right.
Why do it? And so that's just with a lot of things I realized. A lot of people, like a bunch of people, a bunch of things, a bunch of situations, and you know what I mean. And then I also had a realization of being a little bit more upfront with how I feel about things, instead of holding things in or not saying things. So when I came back, I was like, I'm gonna be a lot more honest with how I feel about things. And so that served me well. Served me very well, actually.
I'm thinking about. I've never gone to therapy. I'm thinking about it. It's maybe time.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of this relationship, now I don't have any like hardcore reason other than like my own like for my own self help to go to therapy. But I'm opening up to it. It's been hard for me to like even admit that I'm like ready to go.
Right.
But it's obviously a good thing. But I don't even know if that's what you're talking about. But you're talking about like probably what you're talking about is like communicating in a way where it's like you're trying to get to a thing. You're trying to like rise up and become like what is maybe like an end goal for you or like a place you want to be.
Well, I would say I don't know if I could say what an end goal is because as you move in life, you get new goals. You might be like, oh, I want to do this now because this afforded me the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I would like to become a successful artist, but I also want to not only just an artist, but also a businessman.
Yeah.
I want to get into music is great. I love music. I'll probably do it for the rest of my life, but I also want to get into writing. I want to write comic books. I want to.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I love comic books.
We got to talk shop on comic books, man. Then we got to. I finally wrote. I've been writing one since I was a very little kid.
Really?
But I came up with this idea on a dock, high on a dock one night, and like I got obsessed with it. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. So like I'm trying to crank out that one. Yeah. But yeah, comic books are important to me, man. I want to make movies and comics. That's like what I want to do. We should. I didn't realize that you want to write comics.
Yeah,
man.
No, I do. I mean, I don't know if I would write it directly by myself. I'd like to have a team. Yeah. Like somebody or like some people that we play off of each other and build stories. That way.
I mean, you need an artist.
Yeah.
Could be an artist.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, most definitely. And so I definitely want to do that at some point. But I think really my main goal is to be able to speak the way my father spoke at podiums, but just through my music, because I think his gift was just being able to speak. You know, he could speak to people and touch people, and people would feel him. And my gift is to be able to speak as well, but I speak in rhythm, you know. And,
so does that mean more people, or does that mean like with a different message?
Well, just I think our messages are somewhat similar, but his is more like militant. I think that mine's is. I think my message is.
Your dad's more intense than you?
Probably. Yeah. But he still was very like, he passed away, but he still very man. Like that's fine. I mean, he lived a long life.
Did he?
Yeah. So, I think for me, what I think about is like being able to just have that power and be able to speak to people and give them hope and give them the spirit to fight through my voice. And I think I was given a voice for a reason. So that's what I ultimately want to do. So does that mean a major label deal? It might at some point. But right now it's just about building a following, being able to get to a point where I can tour the way I'd like to, and getting to a point where we can start making some business deals. Yeah. So that's
smart,
really
man.
Yeah, that's really what I'm thinking about right now. Because you gotta be able to do multiple things. So that's really what is on my mind now.
My advice is always
thinking about, but I don't want to tell everybody everything. But just things that you know.
Yeah, what like now you don't want to reveal everything.
Yeah, but I have things in my mind. I know like in which way I probably would like to jump into after, while as another way of income.
My advice to all creative people, regardless of what you're doing, is you got to get into business the sooner the better, and follow that up with like a good partner, man. Like that's what I wish I had, like a solid like a best friend, business partner, and they tell you not to work with friends and all that. But like,
No, it's not.
I think you got to find someone you trust, you know, and like, and who's gonna back you up. Because your art will suffer if you're doing it all yourself. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. It's like you do one thing and something else like lacks or falls out of whack.
Yeah.
But you have to do it, man.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite like place to perform? Like, what are you like? Even not even not theoretically, like through your history, like the places you have performed. What have been your favorite shows? What are your favorite type of audiences and stuff like that?
It's hard to even categorize because I've done loft shows.
Yeah.
I really like small like loft, like house shows.
Before you answer it, I want to say like there was a party at the old secret loft on McKibben.
Yeah.
And it might have been one of the last parties there even.
Yeah.
And it was sick, man.
Yeah.
I thought the floor was gonna cave in.
Oh,
and you were coming down off the stage, and everybody was fucking jumping.
Yeah.
And it was like
I
this.
remember that.
That's the best. It's like it's an underground scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of awesome artistic people around. There's like the Chris Carr no corporate vibe is present, which is one of my favorite things too.
Yeah.
Like I love that shit, man. I was like, I might be going through a hard time in life right now, but at least I'm here. And witnessing this and like a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think those have been my favorite shows because it's just so crazy. But I also do enjoy it. Like, I got to think about it. Like, I would say, as far as tour, there was a show in Portland that I loved that I thought was really, really, really fire. And I did a performance on a TV show in Salem.
What was that?
Oregon. It's called CCTV.
Okay.
That was fire.
I know CCTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I
fire.
don't know if I've seen that. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on my page.
Yeah.
That was really dope. And shoot.
Have you done B-side?
I did B-side,
You did B-side.
but not by myself. I performed extra
Okay.
during Chris's B-sides.
Okay. Chris Carr's?
Yeah.
What did he just bring a lot of people on?
He brought a bunch of people. It was live.
True Chris
It was dope.
fashion?
Yeah, true Chris Carr
Oh, he's
fashion.
bringing everybody with him?
Whole squad.
Yeah.
You got the whole squad. Yeah, those I would think those are my favorite shows. But I really liked the show that I just did. I think that was like 2 Saturdays ago. The BK Wildlife
At the
Summer Festival.
at that Secret Project Robot?
Secret Project. That
Yeah.
was dope. I love that show.
I
It's
told you,
hard.
man,
I've had
all
so
I
many
came
dope
in-
shows, man.
I only caught Ka.
Yeah,
I had to apologize. I promise you, it was a meaningful conversation at the bar.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he went on, and I
Yeah.
came in at Ka.
that's all good. No, but what I do enjoy. I enjoyed that show, but it's hard. It depends on the night, you know. It depends
Yeah.
on the crowd.
That's one thing I witnessed because I see you all. Like I'm there, I'm bearing witness, and I see like some nights are rough. It's just like either nobody's there or the people who are there are just like not into it.
Yeah.
It's like you catch all of it. You catch every variety of fucking audience you possibly can, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been lucky enough. You got some wood. Knock on wood that when I perform, I usually get really good responses.
Yeah. You command an audience, man.
Yeah,
You're good at it.
Thank you.
You're a natural performer. I don't know if natural is it. Maybe you've just been working hard at it. But
It took a while.
yeah.
But yeah, so I've been, I was able to, through performing a lot, like kind of build a persona and know how I want to talk to the audience. So it works out for me very well. I've done like a couple of so far sounds.
Nice.
That have been really great because it's always a great built-in audience, and
Yeah.
I always get a lot of good responses from those shows.
Yeah.
Um,
You doing artery?
I've done artery before too, through
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those have been really fun. The intimate shows are actually really cool.
Yeah.
Not saying I don't want the arenas, I do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the intimate shows are
Madison
cool
Square
too.
Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square.
Childish Gambino just was there. My roommate went with our
Really?
ex roommate, and yeah,
Mhm.
I was pretty jealous. I wanted to go
You
that
wanted
night.
to
Yeah, I'm not really into going to shows like that, but I really like Gambino, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I admire him not just for the music either. I mean, like fucking dude's doing everything. Literally,
Yeah,
dude
nah,
does
he's-
stand up. Dude directs Atlanta. I'm embarrassed that I haven't seen Atlanta, but he's
Atlanta's
writing,
really
directing.
good.
Fucking, he's a mogul, man.
Atlanta is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he thinks about it in terms of the experience,
Mm-hmm.
like Do you try to get involved in the experience, or are you like more focused right now on just like getting the music and getting the shows and
What do you mean by the experience?
I don't know what I mean because that's just what I hear. You know, Kanye's always talking about the fucking experience. Gambino talks about how he recognizes that that's what he does. So he thinks about the experience. I don't really.
The experience for other people.
It's not just an album. It's like it's the whole thing. It's the show. It's everything that comes around it and everything you put into it. What do you got? Dancers, whatever it is that you put into it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to put some thought into the experience.
Yeah.
I do think about how people are gonna feel.
Yeah.
But I also think with the experience, you kind of like, it's something you build, but it's hard to do experiences like them with little money.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
We're all like,
So
we're super Indian, bro.
I just try to just do the best. Just leave myself on the stage.
Yeah.
When I go on the stage, anything I'm dealing with,
Put it all up there.
I just put it all out there and then leave.
You're a short dude, but fucking you get out there and you get like that show we were talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking jumping around you. It's awesome. That's cool, man.
Yeah, thank
I obviously identify with it because if there's another short person doing something awesome, I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck tall people.
Yeah.
It's all about the little people fucking taking over,
You
man.
don't know nothing about it.
That party was funny too. I remember because it was super fucking hot and everybody was
Yeah.
getting naked and taking shirts off
Yeah,
and
I
shit. There was
remember that.
like a lot of dudes with shirts off.
I remember that.
But
I think I had a shirt
because I know Chris Carr could throw parties where they're more kinky. It wasn't one of those parties.
No, it wasn't.
There were some furry people there though. You know, like furry people dress up like animals and shit.
I think it was
There were
one
like
of those
I remember
shows-
several people. He was mixing crowds.
I think it was like a or whatever. I forget the name of the party, Greatest Hits party. So I think
Maybe.
what it was is that all of those type of parties that they would do, they just like put them together.
He was
in one party
bringing
so people
all
can
the
dress however they
That's
wanted
what the
to.
Greatest Hits party is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's what it was. It was definitely like
Mm-hmm.
several of the different scenes coming together that night.
Yeah.
It was a perfect storm, man.
Mhm.
And no joke, man. Have you seen those videos of like dance floors caving in? Like,
No.
you've never seen anything like that? It's It's like horror shit. Like, not turned down for what? Like Lil Wayne shit. Like it's terrifying. Like the whole floor just caves in and like 100 people die in one go.
Right.
That's what I thought was gonna happen, man. The whole floor like it's wobbly and
It
shit.
was wild. Yeah.
I'm just like
Crazy.
that. I go everywhere and I think of every way to die. That's just
Mhm.
the way I am.
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
No.
I try not to think about that shit at all.
As a filmmaker, I do just because I don't want anyone to die on my set, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm super cautious. I have it in me to be like OCD and super cautious. It's just the way I am. So if we ever make a music video together, you can just do your thing. Don't worry. I'll make sure no one's dying.
Yeah, so
I'll make sure you're not dying.
So I don't fall off the roof or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. So you're super chill, but you also I feel like you have like a seriousness to you. Is there shit that like weighs you down or gets you angry in life?
Yeah. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want, but like I ask everybody like what makes them angry on this podcast. What makes you tick?
I think really what make I don't like trying to think, because there's a lot of things that bother me, and I also don't want to harp on certain situations.
Yeah.
I think for me, I just don't like I just don't like the way people treat each other a lot of times. You know what I mean? I don't like when people are not honest. You know, I don't like when people are untrustworthy. You know, stuff like that really pisses me off. And then I don't like when people can't look at themselves, because I have to look at myself every day. No matter what I do, I can't just do shit and just be like, well, I did it, ha ha ha. I have to look at myself every day. So that's not something that I'm into.
I understand the first part. What do you mean when they don't look at themselves? What does that
I think
mean?
people have a tendency sometimes not to be self-reflective.
Right.
So
Okay.
everything is
Yeah.
everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
And I just hate that
A
mentality.
lot of people with no awareness, no consideration, lack of sensitivity.
Yeah, it's like it's not everybody else's fault, man. Like, you have to look at yourself. You have to. And so that's one of my pet peeves. But then also just like a lot of shit like racism. It's so much shit that bothers me that I just try not to even focus on it, because
Right.
it bothers me so much.
Yeah.
So it's so many things I can't even get into all of it, to be honest with you.
You don't have to if you don't want to, man.
Yeah.
Has racism been a problem in your life? Do you mind me asking?
Luckily, no. Yes and no.
Yes
I
and
mean,
no.
it's been a part of my life
It's
because of what my
obviously there.
father did.
Yeah,
but
and You're black in
you know,
America, man.
Yeah. So,
But you haven't had any like horrible things happen.
Not really. I there's things that I peep things, but
Yeah.
I've never had anybody really do anything really crazy to me.
I think it's also part of New York. New York isn't so bad, even though it's everywhere.
Not as noticeable. People do slick things, but it's not as noticeable.
Yeah. Because segregation is everywhere, including like New York is divided, but it's like we're obviously a melting pot and more mixed here, so people are more open minded.
Yeah.
Even the racist people are more open minded here.
Yeah, this is true.
Fucking, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So would you say you're like you just try to keep it away, or you're aware of it and you just kind of like you hold it at a distance,
and
so
I
it
try to
doesn't
hold
hurt
it
you?
at a distance because that type of stuff will hinder me from moving forward. So I try not to let it sit on my brain too much.
Yeah. It's 4:20.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to start wrapping this up because I know you got to get somewhere and we want to get some music in too.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists, man?
Shoot.
I want to ask you about comics, but let's start with music.
Shoot. There's Nas, Andre 3000, Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
I love Redman, Method Man. As far as the new era, I used to love 50 Cent too. I like 50 Cent. But as far as the new era, I really like Kendrick Lamar, I like J. Cole, I like Drake, I like Chance the Rapper, I like Big Sean. There's a cat named J.I.D. that I think is really dope. It's a lot of really dope artists. I even like Lil Uzi Vert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people wouldn't expect me to like. Juice WRLD. There's a lot of I get inspiration from a lot of different artists.
Yeah, I've heard especially with the new Bury Me in Gold Volume 2 stuff that I've heard. I could tell you have a lighthearted side. You're not all serious.
Yeah.
You are a serious dude though, man. I like it. I like how
I didn't realize I was that serious.
I mean, you're not super serious, but yeah, you get up there and you're not a total goofball and you're not just doing dumb songs, man.
Yeah.
That's why I respect you, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you got weight. You like Kanye?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course I love Kanye.
I think it's obvious
he's
why
crazy.
he's losing his marbles and shit.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't think Kanye presidency would be a horrible thing, but I love him. I'm into him. I have this debate with a lot of people, man, because a lot of people don't like him, obviously, but yeah, I feel like rappers collectively like him. He's a god, right?
Yeah. As an artist, he's pretty dope.
What about comics, man?
Shoot. See, I'm not the
Because you're not really reading them right now, right?
Yeah. I would say, off the top of the head, I love Humberto Ramos even with the
I love that you brought him back into my life right now. I'm totally like, it's been a slow, like, me getting back into comics thing over the last 4 years,
I mean,
you know?
he's been drawing Spider-Man comics for forever.
Is he doing it right now?
I don't know. I think he might be. I think he's consistently been on and off Spider-Man comics. Yeah. But there's like him. Joe Madureira used to be my favorite when I was younger.
I love him. He's just in the video game world now.
Yeah. There's another. I can't remember. I'm not great with the names. There's a guy that's like my favorite. So 2 people. Sarah, what's her name? Pacelli?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I got her name right.
Sarah though.
Sarah, I think is.
I'm always trying to get if there's female comic artists, I want to know about
her.
Yeah.
And she's really fucking ill. And then there's I can't remember his name. Coppola?
Greg Capullo. Is that who you're talking about? Spawn?
No, not him. There's a guy that was drawing Thor for a long time.
I'm not sure if I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name right now, but he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the people. And, of course, John Romita Jr.
Yeah. Kick-ass.
He's
doing kick-ass.
Yeah, he does kick-ass. I think he's doing
Shout
Superman
out
now, too.
Our buddy O'Henny, our homie O'Henny, for being in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, for being in a Kick-Ass movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until later.
It is
when
so
I saw
funny,
the movie
right?
again, I said, wait a minute, that's fucking O'Henny.
It's so funny watching it. It's, yeah. That movie's so good. Yeah, John Romita's awesome, man. I love all. Unfortunately, I'm not really into the superhero comics, you know, and like I don't really want to read them anymore. But they buy up and eat up all the good artists and writers and everything. You know, it's like if only Image is like kind of. You know what Image is up to these days?
Yeah, well, Deadly Class I think is Image.
Yeah, Yeah,
We
yeah.
got a bunch of stuff going
Image
on
is
over there.
image is
It's supposed to be
amazing.
really good, yeah.
It's like when it first started, it was like 5 titles or whatever. The 5
Yeah.
founding members had their 5 titles,
Yeah.
and then they kind of started having a bunch of other spin-off titles and they brought other artists in. But then I stopped reading
Wildcats.
comics. Yeah, Wildcats.
Yeah.
That was Jim Lee and shit. But then like years went by, I wasn't reading comics, and what it's turned into is phenomenal, man. It's like
Yeah.
super indie publishing company,
It's very
like
indie right now.
creator owned. Like they make their money and they do their thing, and it's
Yeah.
not like they're not controlling anything. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, they have some really, really, really dope books.
Yeah.
Image. Actually, some of the best stuff I've read has been from Image.
Totally, man. Yeah, it's like a lot of it.
Pretty
It's
dope.
crazy how much stuff they've
They
made.
they have Chew too. I like Chew.
Chew, the artist.
No, Chew is.
Oh, Chew. Yeah. The guy
well,
who what is it? He bites and he knows the history of
Yeah.
the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chew
I
is
fuck with
awesome,
Chew.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out the owner of Vinyl Fantasy is a comic store around here. He got me to read that.
Oh, really?
I wasn't like sure about the art at first, but I do like the art. I love the art
Yeah,
actually, and the fucking story is brilliant, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm.
Totally. All right, man. So we can close this out now. I always ask everybody, what advice do you give up and coming artists, young people, anyone period, but creative people in general?
Song is paramount.
Yeah.
But also, I would say,
If that
Just
was a
make
movie,
sure you-
story is paramount.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I would, say just it's gonna take time, but what you have over other people is drive, and so you just keep driving it home. You keep doing what you got to do, and understand what you want. Know exactly what you want. Know how to get, and find a way to get there, and just be consistent. Don't be afraid to jump, because a lot of us we live in a society where we've been taught that we can't jump because we're gonna break our legs, which might happen. But then they'll heal. So
And we're in the future. You're gonna get bionic legs, and you're gonna jump higher.
I'm gonna jump super high
Yeah.
with jetpacks in them too.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite animes.
Fuck legs. We don't need legs. What's the anime?
No, I need legs. My Hero Academia.
I don't know it.
It's brand new. It's fairly new. It's like the superhero high school, which is similar to an idea a comic I wrote a while ago. It's a superhero college.
Nice.
But we ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, there's one character. He's got these almost jets in his legs, so he can run really fast.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna be. That's
what
where you're
I'm
gonna be when you break your legs. You're gonna get the bionic
super
rocket
robotic
legs.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna run around the city.
Yo, here's to
Get
happen,
money.
man.
Yes.
Here's to happen. So you
Yeah.
feeling ready to perform?
I
Do
think
a
I
little
could do
rap?
something. Yeah, let's do
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Do you want to shout out what it is now, or
We're gonna do a piece of a song off of Birdman Gold Volume 2 called Decepticons.
nice?
Drive-bys and Decepticons, produced by Minecraft.
Cool.
Yeah.
And company and
And
is it-
accompanied by Dirty Pipes.
Cool, man. All right,
Zeus?
here we go.
Zeus? BGP, Dirty Pipes, Crimdella, Dirty Pipes, Short, Bald, and Angry podcast. I'm not bald, but I may be a little angry, and I'm definitely short. All right, you ready? 1906. Hands behind my back like my Baba next to Mandela. Fix your face, you niggas is looking jealous. Try to smile, I'm sorry you couldn't sell it. Fuck boy tendency, sorry you couldn't help it. Parasitic, you living inside a shellfish. Fuck them all, I broke a bone in my pelvis. I mind melded with grapes, felt like a genius. Plotting on 40 acres, he's so mischievous. Conversations with spirits, they always keep in touch. But horror scenes in my dream can never keep me up. I sleep through them, I'm so used to it going wrong that when it's going right, I don't know what's going on. Insecurities hurt things that I've known so long. I'm holding on by a thread, sipping what Jesus bled. As a youngin', my cousin said he could see the dead. Well, if he still do, tell my pops that I needed his bread. Tell cousin Aunt I need his warrior spirit. I need an 8-year run, I don't want interference. Elders like what I become, I owe it all to my parents. Learned a lot just on my own, I owe it all to my merit. She wanna fuck me and then wake up in the morning embarrassed. I told the girl don't be embarrassed if you wanna take care of it. Listen shorty, I'm serious. Live, love, life, girl, it's all an experience. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Where you at, baby? Pull up, pull up. Where you at, baby? Pull up, pull up. Where you at, baby? Pull up, pull up. Doing drive-bys and Decepticons. I hop out, he shoot, I shoot, we take your energy on. Doing drive-bys and Decepticons. I hop out, he shoot, I shoot, we take your energy on. Drive-bys and Decepticons. Drive-bys and Decepticons. Drive-bys and Decepticons. Drive-by. The hoodie holy, the prophet come from the meanest ghettos. It's hoodie holy, they shot him before he could leave the ghetto. You see the fuckery, rarely you ever see Geppetto. The puppet masters done figured out how to keep us settled. I seen an old college friend the other day. Zeus. He started telling me dirty pipes. Went the other way. Crimdella. Okay. What you say? My spaceship got no brakes. My waitress called me babe. She wanna serve a brother all day. Yeah, I catch Z's, I'ma add a little crack. Hold up, let me get a little space. Y'all niggas copy and paste, so I gotta keep it locked in the safe. No safe words when I spank 'em. Hate feel good, I should thank 'em. No bad vibes in the sanctum. No bad vibes in the sanctum. I'm sick of you niggas, I ain't feeling too well. Love me or hate me, oh man, I feel like Fidel. I lock it and load it, then you go drop it in a moment. And all this locked up emotion, I gotta get out my shell. Won't pick up the phone, I treat it just like Adele. She wanted hello, a brother, I send him hellos to hell. Got a halo with horns, I'm hoping Hera prevails. I'm high laughing at rappers, it's like the best of Chappelle. Okay, we kill beats, then rotate. Y'all niggas got no taste. Sprinkle in a little Old Bay. Woo, my spaceship got no brakes. And let's see a motherfucker bang. I hop out, niggas better pay. Handshake, no thanks. What you say? My spaceship got no brakes. I pull up to the motherfucker bank. Hop out, niggas better pay. Woo. What you say? Niggas out of town, out of tank. You drink rosé by the case. Spit rosé in your face. Cup full of Grand Marnier. You cup full of Angel Grace. She just wanna go in that room. She don't wanna go on no dates. What you say? I serve ass whoop by the tray. Homie, you don't really wanna play. Get about the motherfucking way. Crimdella, I say. Young Black Zeus, I say. My whole squad go hard. Your whole squad go away. My spaceship got no brakes. And let's see a motherfucker bang. I hop out, niggas better pay. Handshake, no thanks. What you say? My spaceship got no brakes. I pull up to the motherfucker bank. Hop out, niggas better pay. Zeus. Can I see how they look?
Yeah. You want to see how they look?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long video.
I don't need to see the whole thing. Right, I forgot. That's all one take.